Where's the thing today?
You're fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Briar Gast, and my pronouns are they, them, or he, him. I am a member of your UUI transition team. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you. We look forward to getting to know you. We invite everyone present in the sanctuary to join our in-person coffee hour immediately after the service. During our service, there is a time for sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another. Cards for sharing the joy and sorrows are on the table by the entrance to the sanctuary, and we ask that you pick them up prior to that section of our service. Community is one of our core values. This means that we love and care for each other while providing opportunities for fellowship and personal growth. We strive to be a welcoming community for spiritual growth, moral reflection, social action, and religious education. We are so glad that you are with us today, and we hope that you find the service inspiring and meaningful.
Good morning. I am Maria Madar, and my pronouns are she, her. I am honored to serve our congregation today as worship associate. A lit chalice is the symbol of our tradition, serving as a beacon of hope. As we light our chalice in the sanctuary, I invite those on Zoom to light a chalice or candle and to type your location in the chat. Our chalice lighting and opening words today are by Pat Uraby Lichty. We light our chalice today knowing that our hope and our passion are needed to change the world. We bring different gifts to the work, but we come together in one faith that what we do makes a difference both to our world and to ourselves.
Good morning, everyone. There's a correction in your order of service. Our opening hymn will not be 1009 in your teal hymnal. It will be 346 in your gray hymnals. So I'll go ahead and give you a second to gather those up. Once you've got it, please rise in body or spirit as we join together in singing hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me.
Would you please join me in saying our covenant, which is on screen and also listed in your bulletin. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. And now we're going to say our covenant in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Please be seated. Our congregation is a lively community with many opportunities to participate. Folks, we have so many fun and exciting things going on these days. It's crazy. So here are just a few of our announcements.
I want to let you know that I am extending the application period for the Pastoral Care Associates until next Sunday, September 29th. Thank you to those who have already applied. This is an important role that benefits from having folks of diverse genders and all ages. So male identifying adults and those from younger generations are especially encouraged to apply. See your e-blast for more details. And by younger generations, I mean 18 and older.
There will be a pitch-in luncheon before our multi-generational book read and discussion meetup on October 13th. Please see John Cornell in the social hall during coffee hour for more details.
Today is your last day to sign up for this month's Taste of Theology. Please see Mary Beth after the service in the social hall for more information.
My turn again. And today is also the final day for Chalice Circles. So to learn more about this, talk to Marty. Marty's here, and Marty will be out at the table in the social hall following service. Also, after the service, Dan Shepley, whose wonderful artwork you see hung here in the sanctuary this month, is holding a walkthrough of his art exhibit, and refreshments will be served.
The Serving with Grace book discussions are happening next week. See your e-blast for sign-up information and details. And now, an announcement from your board of directors.
Hi, my name's John Russell. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here. Asking to save the date 2 weeks from today, October 6th, immediately following the service, our first congregational meeting of the new year. We need to attend to some important business like electing our president and looking at some bylaws changes. There will be an information session to review the agenda on Zoom on Thursday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. For the agenda and all the pertinent details, please be sure to see your e-blast, and it's also page 2 of the order of service today.
You can tell a lot about a congregation by the types of announcements they share about what is going on and what matters to them and how lively and engaged the congregation is. I think you can tell a lot about a congregation by how they choose to share the moments of their lives with each other as well. Here at UUI, each week we have a moment where we have the opportunity to share the joys and sorrows of our lives with one another, either by writing them down on the cards that are by the doors to the sanctuary, or if you're in Zoom, typing them in chat with the words joy or sorrow in all caps, plus your name and pronouns. Or you can just drop a stone in the bowl without writing anything down to signify that something is on your hearts and minds, because it is valuable to take part in that ritual, especially in a community such as this one. And so now I invite us, as the music plays, if you have a joy or a sorrow to share, to please come forward and drop a stone in the bowl. And if you have a card, please drop it in the basket that's at the very front here. joys and sorrows that were shared today. Joni shares the sorrow that she is struggling intensely with serious health issues and with her inability to be in person with us today. Linda and Linda share the saga of that the saga of their car should be ready for pickup on this Monday. Finally. Melissa shares the sorrow that they decided to put her dad in hospice care. It's a tough choice, she says, but the right one. Colleen and John are celebrating their 34th wedding anniversary today. Happy anniversary. Gobi shares the joy that he and his mom went camping at Shades State Park, and it made him feel very happy. And Avery shares the joy that he is happy that his Nana is coming home from vacation on Monday. We know there are many other joys and sorrows among us in this room this morning, beyond those that are shared out loud. Did you know that people's heartbeats can align with one another when they're in close proximity to one another? Doesn't always happen, but sometimes in community, in relationship, that can happen. And so I invite us now to enter a time of centering, of quiet. Doesn't have to be perfectly quiet. Ambient noise is perfectly fine. And just focus inwardly. Focus at first on your breath. How your chest rises and falls. Or if you use your diaphragm, how your belly goes in and out. Either one is fine, you don't have to change it. Focus on the parts of you that are sitting on a chair or a seat, or are in contact with the floor, your feet. Focus now outwardly. See if you can feel the sense of the person sitting near you. Maybe the air changes a little bit as it goes around them. Maybe you just feel their energy. And now expand it a little bit outward. Can you feel the person beyond them? Can you feel the gathered community in this room, online and in person? What a joy and a blessing it is to be together. Blessed be, and amen.
Rising
Human beings have gathered for centuries, millennia probably, seeking a higher purpose and deeper life than we can realize by ourselves. We join in religious communities to formalize this gathering, to cast our lots with one another, and to form a deep community united in purpose. Some of us join a Unitarian Universalist congregation because our faith points to what is noblest and best in human life. Some join because we want to support it as it stands against superstition and fear, or because it is open to all who share our values, regardless of your theology, your race, or gender, or how you worship, or who you love. In fact, not regardless, but welcoming your theology, your race, your gender, how you worship, and who you love. Some people join our UU congregations because we strive to find the right blend of freedom and reason and respect, freedom, reason, and respect, balanced with faith and hope and love, or because it's a place where children can learn that religion is for joy, comfort, and gratitude. The relationships that we form in our church here are based on our primal needs to join, to commit, and these needs render each of us vulnerable. And that makes us reliant upon one another's grace, goodness, and generosity of spirit. In this spirit of welcoming, of relying on one another, we are excited to welcome our new members today. And I'd like to invite Ellen Burge, Chair of the Welcome and Membership Committee, to assist me with our new member ceremony.
As I call your name, I invite you to come forward and stand up front to the extent you feel comfortable doing that. Please bring the insert from your order of service with you. Dan Odia and Catherine. Oh, and another little one. Ann Johnson and Denny Thomas. Daphne Elliott. And Christine Farber. I invite the congregation to welcome our new members by reading together the words printed in your order of service and displayed on the screen. We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church at Indianapolis, welcome you as new members to our congregation. We encourage you to join in our shared journey of transformation. We will endeavor to be guided by the spirit of love in all our words and actions. We include you now as we continue to support the programs and ideals that bind us together in spirit and community. And now our new members respond. We
I love the game going on here. Through the spirit of love, the power of community, and the values of Unitarian Universalism, we bless these new members of UUI, and we welcome you among us. We give you a flower as a promise of the beauty and growth possible in our future relationship. Here, may you find comfort, for life often carries with it pain, and may you find joy in the shared gifts of life and love. Here, may you be challenged, for questioning is a source of love and learning. May you add your voice to ours, finding harmony in the diversity we affirm. May you build on your faith, a faith that sustains you during life's transitions. Here may you find your spiritual home, creating with us a community which welcomes all. Let's all welcome our new members with a round of applause. And there will be blurbs and pictures of our new members inserted into the order of service next week. So if you can't remember who they are, you will have that as a visual aid to remind you. And now let us sing our children to their religious education classrooms. There's an energy here today, isn't there? I love it. It's lively. It's engaged. It's kind of antsy. In October of 2014, just about 10 years ago, I can't believe it was almost 10 years ago, 1 week after the US Supreme Court effectively made same-sex marriage legal here in Indiana, I was honored to officiate at the wedding ceremony for 2 of my former roller derby teammates, who, not surprisingly, met while playing roller derby. The ceremony and reception were held at their farm. The weather was perfect for late fall. The couple was radiant. They were so excited to say their vows, make their promises to each other, and celebrate with beloved friends and family. Many, but not all, but many of whom were, yes, other roller derby players and officials. It was lovely, and there was not a dry eye to be found, as they were indeed surrounded by people who cared about them, supported them, who would be there with them through thick and through thin. I had actually stopped playing roller derby a few years earlier, having become immersed in family and work duties. So it had been a little while since I'd hung out with this couple and other former teammates. I was nervous about how my former teammates might respond to me. Would they remember who I was? Did they see me as a quitter since I no longer was playing? On the drive to the farm, my insides were that messy combination of excitement and anxiety. Do you know that combination that I'm talking about? I'm seeing lots of nodding heads. Beloveds, let me tell you, that anxiety was wasted energy. Yes, they remembered who I was. No, I was not viewed as a quitter. In fact, I found that the friendships that I had made while playing roller derby were ones that absolutely would last through something as piddling as me not being on the team anymore. You know those friendships where you may not keep in touch regularly, but when you come together, you're right there. I knew that were I to ask, each of them would be there for me, supporting me. And I know that I felt, and indeed I still feel, the same way for each of them. I was and am a part of the roller derby community in Louisville, Kentucky, where I played, and beyond, whether I play or not. Roller derby is a sport, an increasingly competitive one at that, and it is much more than a sport as well. It's a place where people can gather with other people to have some fun, do something physical, wear some funky clothes, and kvetch about, well, pretty much everything. Our jobs, our spouses, our kids. We complained to one another about our fitness levels, about how busy we were. We complained if we didn't make it onto the roster for the next game, and we would complain if we did make it onto the roster for the next game. At the time that I played, the team was all people who identified as women, and it was heavenly to have a group of women to kvetch about things in my life too. It was a place where what we did for a living really wasn't very important. Instead, what mattered was the attitude we each brought with us. Did we want to be there or not? That was it. This is one of the reasons why roller derby took off when it was reintroduced in the late 90s, because it was and is a place outside of work and family where people can have fun and build community. Indeed, in many ways, the roller derby community fits the characteristics of what Ray Oldenburg calls a third place. That is a setting beyond home, the first place, and work, the second place, in which people relax in good company and do so on a regular basis. Okay, so maybe we were not relaxing so much at roller derby practice, but you get the gist. And guess what? Can you guess where I'm going with this? Church is also a third place, a place where we regularly come together and relax in good company. Third places like church and roller derby are good for human beings. Oldenburg points out that we need third places to construct the infrastructures of human relationships. We humans are social beings, and we are multifaceted. Third places expose us to new and different perspectives. They give us a sense of community. They provide us with the opportunity to deepen relationships. Third places are also important for society as a whole because people feel more invested in their communities when they are more connected. While we are often more likely to dismiss as unimportant an issue or concern that's not impacting us or someone we know, the opposite is true as well, and third places give us a chance to meet new and different people, and thus enlarge our understanding of the issues facing people whom before perhaps we would not have paid as much attention to. It challenges us. Third places challenges us. They move us into that area of growth. And church in particular is great for this because where else do we find ourselves in multi-generational community, sharing time and space and lives with the youngest to the eldest, celebrating these passages of lives together, learning from one another, growing from one another. Did you notice how multi-generational our new member ceremony was today? Wasn't that fantastic? We human beings do best with a web of relationships and connections that allow us to live into the wholeness of our existence. Communities in which we can understand ourselves better through our connections to each other. And vice versa, communities through which we can grow connections with one another as we better understand ourselves and our place in the universe. Plato reports that at Socrates' trial, at which he was subsequently sentenced to death, Socrates claimed that the unexamined life is not worth living, meaning that without an exploration of our thoughts and ideas, without self-reflection, growth, and development, life is stagnant and not worth living. But I'd add to this that we don't just need to engage in self-reflection, which can become our own echo chamber, but that we also need people, a community, to bear witness to our self-reflection. We need people to help us process our experiences, help us demonstrate empathy and support, people to bounce ideas off of and who can lighten our emotional loads. With today's busy schedule, it is becoming more and more difficult for people to find time for these important third places. And I think it shows in what's happening with our community connections. Volunteerism is down in congregations and nonprofits and in most voluntary associations. In his iconic book, Bowling Alone, Robert Putnam observed that Americans have been dropping out in droves, not merely from political life, but from organized community life more generally. Putnam points to a shift. Doing things is down, so we see fewer people attending church, playing sports, or playing a musical instrument. But consuming things or observing things is up. Attendance at museums, concerts, and sporting events. The problem is that so often consumption can be a singular activity or something that we do with a relatively small group of people. It does not usually lead to building connections with one another. It doesn't usually lead to building community. And human beings, we need community. We need people with whom we can play, argue, learn, challenge, grow. We need people whom we can care about and who care about us. Especially we need this sort of community when times are hard, like they are right now. We have a lot of generalized stress right now. Locally, here at UUI, there is concern about the lack of new leaders, about the upcoming ministerial search, about the status of our physical campus. Not that there's anything wrong with any of these. It's just a low-level, generalized, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? In our larger community, there is stress about going into this election. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Things we used to take for granted, we can't. And it's a privilege to blithely say, oh, we'll survive, because depending on what happens, some of us won't. Putting our hope in leaders can make us think that if only the election goes our way, then things will magically get better. But hope is not a passive process, and nor is it enough. Take climate change, a global concern, as an example. In 2018, climate scientist and writer Kate Marvel wrote that there is now no weather that we human beings haven't touched, no wilderness immune from our encroaching pressure. The world as we once knew it is never coming back. 6 years later, we are really seeing these changes. 6 years ago, Marvel wrote that she had no hope that these changes could be reversed. She said, we are inevitably sending our children to live on an unfamiliar planet. But, she pointed out, the opposite of hope is not despair. She's right. If you remember the service from a few months ago about faith, you may recall that despair is the opposite of faith, that when you lose faith, you despair. The opposite of hope is grief. Marvel says, even while resolving to limit the damage of climate change, we can mourn, and grief, after all, is the cost of being alive. Instead of hope, Marvel calls for courage in the face of our grief. She says courage is the resolve to do well without the assurance of a happy ending. Courage to keep on trying to find new leaders here at UUI. Courage to stay a part of the community even as it continues in a time of transition. Courage to vote and live our values even if, maybe especially if the election doesn't go the way we want it to. Courage to keep working to adapt to climate change. But here's the thing. Having courage together can actually give us hope. Because as Marvel points out, the sheer scale of the problems provide a perverse comfort. We are in this together. And whenever we are in something together, there is hope. This is why we are joining the UU Climate Revival here at UUI. This is why we are creating pastoral care associates. This is why we are participating in Get Out the Vote efforts. This is why we come together in this beloved community each week. When we are together, we find hope that we can adapt to the new realities presented to us. We find hope that we can make or influence change. We find hope that we are not alone. We find hope when someone else is able to be with us, to bear witness to our lives, and whose lives we can bear witness to. When we are together, hope can be found whenever we tell one another, no, you are not forgotten. Yes, you matter. When we find ourselves in a pit and realize that we are not in there alone. We human beings, we find hope in each other. We find hope in community, in third places like a roller derby team or a religious community like UUI. We find hope in being together, even, maybe especially, when hope is hard to find. May it be so. Blessed be.
That was lovely, thank you. Every month, UUI gives half of the Sunday collection to an organization chosen by our Social Justice Committee. Half of the September collection will go to Faith in Place, which we formerly knew as Hoosier Interfaith Power and Light. Faith in Place empowers individuals from diverse faiths and spiritualities to promote environmental and racial justice. Their mission is to educate, connect, and advocate for sustainable communities in Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. They are a proud affiliate of Interfaith Power and Light, which is a national organization working for environmental justice across the U.S. You can give on your smartphone by texting the dollar amount you want to give, along with the word share, to the phone number which is in the chat and also in your bulletin. You can also give on our website at uui.org. And here in this sanctuary, ushers will come around to collect donations. The offering will now be gratefully received. May it be joyfully given. Thank you so much for your generosity. Our closing words today are by Robin F. Gray. As we prepare to depart, we give voice to these hopes. May we know ourselves bound in community even while we are apart. May a passion for justice burn in our lives. May we carry the light of compassion in our hearts and in every interaction. May we be whole in our devotion to truth and always carry the lamp of peace within us. Blessed be, and may it be so.
Please rise in body or spirit as we join together in singing hymn number 354, We Laugh, We Cry, verses 1 and 4, just first and last.
Sing our song, we need to
Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words, which will be on the screen momentarily, and they're also printed in your order of service. Now we extinguish the flame of our chalice, but not the light of understanding, the warmth of compassion, or the fire of commitment. Let us keep those with us until we meet again. Go in peace.